Hey guys, what's going on? It's Scott from my DIY channel, Home Maintenance Edition. Today we're going to go over the condensate line and how to service it. I actually walked on the side of my house and I saw this picture and I was like, what is that? After looking into it, it actually turns out it's a bacteria that's forming inside your condensate line that needs to be cleaned out every now and then. Was I guilty of not cleaning that out and servicing it? Yes, I was. You know, that was my lesson learned. So my lesson learned is always your lesson learned. I want you guys to learn from this and move on so you can service your AC unit better. And on this particular episode, what I did, I actually ran into a problem, a lesson learned right away. When I looked at my condensate line coming from my air conditioner, I was like, where's the clean out? There is no clean out here. And I was like, oh gosh. So we ran to the home center, got some parts. I put a T in there and I never did that before. So that's a first time for me as well. How do you put a clean out in? Now with this T installed with the plug, I can clean out my condensate line now a lot easier. And I understand that it is an important part of your home maintenance, and it's something we have to do to maintain our AC unit. So let's go service our condensate line and see what we got. Now the original clean out installed on this unit labeled Fig 1 does allow a garden hose to be attached to flush out the pan area with water. And that's okay when you need to do that. However, our situation calls for flushing the line out with vinegar, and that particular clean out is not helpful to us. So that's why we're installing a more practical clean out T labeled Fig 2. So in the future, we can flush the line with vinegar whenever we want. And that will help us better maintain our condensate line to avoid any bacteria buildup in the future. Okay guys, I'm actually in the garage right now addressing this HVAC unit with the condensate line. Now, mine is in the garage. Yours could be in an attic. It could be in the basement. But this particular one we're working on today is in the garage. Now, don't let it throw you off because they all work the same way. Okay? The condensate line comes from the evaporator coil inside your unit. And this particular one goes down into the crawl to the outside wall of the house. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to turn the HVAC unit off. And this is the setup I'm running into right now. The only reason I'm not happy about it is because in order to clean this out, we got to take all this apart and go in there. And while we're here, we're going to look for other opportunities for improvement, like this piece of tape right here. It's seen better days. We'll clean this right here and we'll retape it so we got a better seal on that system. So what we're going to do with this particular project right now, we're going to cut this 3/4 PVC and install a clean out T. So we have better access to clean out this condensate line in the future. And it's just really important as a home maintenance tip. We're on our way to the home center. I'll be right back. Okay guys, so we're back from our home center. So I'm just going to get a marker, mark exactly where we're going to cut. We'll go from there. So at this point, I was looking for the exact measurement to cut the pipe to insert the T into the line. And I wasn't sure what to do, and I wasn't sure what the measurement was, so this is what I did. You see this right here? So I put a piece of tin foil in here to identify the raised edge on the inside. And I went like this with the tin foil. I'm going to take it out. And this will show me where the two lines are. And that's the area I have to cut off of this pipe right here. That's how I'm doing that. So now we know. For the future, if we ever have to install T into a 3/4 line, the exact measurement to cut the pipe is 1.5 inches. If you don't already have a pipe cutter, I would definitely buy one. This is a PVC pipe cutter that I bought, but I probably should have bought this one instead. It's a ratcheting PVC pipe cutter and it goes through PVC like butter in the event you don't have one. So we marked off our 1.5 inches with these two lines right here. I'm going to take our PVC cutters and make our first cut. Now we're ready for cut number 2. Okay. There we go. All right. So we cut a piece out, and the main goal and objective is to put this in there. Let's dry fit it first. Okay, so that's our dry fit. Now it's time for our primer and cement. Okay guys, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our purple primer. Okay, and we are going to just prime our fresh cut pipe first. And then the T on the inside. Next, we're going to take our regular clear PVC cement. I'm going to put this one in like that. And we're good. We're good. We have our T clean out now. Hold it strong for about 5 seconds, maybe 10. And I think that's it. There's our T. Then we'll just screw the cap on and we're pretty much done with this T. Give this about 15 to 20 minutes to dry. And the next step we're going to do is actually go outside, hook up the shop vac to the end of the drain line and suck all the water out of it. To ensure a good seal, I'm going to take duct tape and wrap it around the end of the vacuum nozzle and drain pipe. So we're going to do this for about 3 minutes. Just wanted to see how much suction we're actually getting. So, good suction. Nice. Wonder if we should put some more vinegar in there. That's an idea. All right, let's do that. Now I did read some articles that actually said you could use bleach or vinegar. I chose vinegar simply because it's the safer solution to use. So we just poured a little bit more vinegar in there just to suck it out with the Wet Vac. So that should take care of the bacteria problem. Next we'll disconnect the Wet Vac, turn on the unit, and make sure it's working as intended. Okay, so it's been a good 3 minutes. I'm going to take this off. I'm going to clean this out with a hose because there's nastiness in here as well. And then I'll just hook this back up. And that's how we're going to clean a condensate line today. Mission accomplished. Alright, so this is the final test right here. We call it the paper test. So we're putting this paper underneath here. We're making sure there's no moisture whatsoever on the bottom. And we're pulling the paper out and there's no drips. The air conditioning's running. Now we're going to check to see to make sure it's draining. So we're out here by the drain and it's not draining right now, but that might be because we sucked all the water out of it with the vacuum cleaner. So I'm just being patient and I'm waiting for it to drip. Hopefully it'll be alright. I'm sure it will. There it is, baby. Okay. I'm good with that. I'm definitely good with that. We're gonna put this baby back on. And now we're done for the day. The lessons learned on this particular project were interesting. I definitely learned about the condensate line, how important it is to actually maintain it and to actually make it part of the regularly scheduled maintenance, especially on the HVAC system. So that was a good lesson for me. Now, while I first thought the white goo might have been calcium related because, you know, calcium deposits are usually white, it actually wasn't. And I discovered that it was a bacteria. It actually has a name even. It's called Zuglia. And I don't know, you want me to read the definition? Zuglia is a gelatin-like or mucilaginous mass that is characteristic of the growth of various bacteria, usually seen in a fluid, rich in organic material. It is made up of the bodies of the bacteria embedded in a matrix of swollen confluent capsule substance. That is our geek definition for sure. Okay? It's just white goo that comes out of your condensate line. It is just disgusting, and it just has to be cleaned out. Now, there's a couple ways you could actually do it. I chose vinegar as opposed to the bleach, because bleach is always, you know, it's a dangerous chemical and you don't want to breathe it in. It's if you have asthma, you definitely don't want to use bleach. It's just it's a tough chemical. So the safer chemical to use was the vinegar. It worked very well. Another lesson we learned was about the PVC cutting tool. Okay, there is no substitute for a decent cutting tool, or any tool for that matter. The PVC cutting tool I bought was probably about $5 cheaper, but I mean, I'm not cutting PVC every day, so it was good for this job. That's fine, but I don't think I'll ever use it again. If I have to cut PVC again, I will definitely buy the ratcheting one. It just cuts very easily. So that was a lesson learned for tools. Oh, how could I forget? What is the measurement of the pipe you need to cut when you're installing a T into a 3/4 line with no play in it whatsoever? If you have play in a 3/4 line that you're installing a T into, it's not that big of a deal. But if you have no play, it's very important you have the exact measurement that you want to cut. And by being a little creative, we figured out it's 1.5 inches. And so that was another lesson we learned in this particular project. So that's about it for the lessons learned, guys. I hope you got something out of it. If you did, please like and subscribe. And remember, if someone else could do it, you could do it too. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.